Episode 7, The Prince Who Watched, Part 1. A gentle soul. What is voyeurism? Clinically, is defined as a persistent urge to observe others in intimate situations while remaining unseen. But in real life, it's rarely about sex. More often, it's about distance, about the illusion of closeness without obligation, about feeling in control without the risk of being exposed. Sometimes a voyeur isn't a creep. He's just someone who's afraid to be truly seen. Because as long as you're hidden, you can keep pretending to be good. Hi, my name is Mia. I worked as a webcam model for 2 years. And during that time, I thought I'd seen it all. But sometimes amid the crowd of strange, greedy, and crude, someone truly rare would appear. Someone gentle. That was the prince. Not in a metaphorical sense. That was his actual username. Prince. From Norway. Real name, Howard. He was easy to be around. He never asked for a private session, never made lewd comments, never tested my boundaries. He just showed up every evening and stayed. He'd send virtual bouquets, write kind messages, tell me he loved my smile, that I helped him feel alive. You glow. That's rare. Thank you for simply existing. You have no idea how much warmth you bring. He became more than a viewer, more than a client. He became part of my virtual family, a friend. We talked a lot about everything, life, death, the soul, pain, rock music. He especially loved Hotel California. Sometimes he'd ask me to play it and just listen, silently, eyes closed. One day he told me his story. He used to be a sailor, gone for long periods at sea. His wife cheated. He didn't blame her. He said he was absent. Then came the drugs, rehab, and what felt like rock bottom. But the worst came later. He found out he had a daughter only after she died. She was 5. A car crash. He never got to say hello. Only, I'm sorry. I didn't know what to say. He didn't cry, didn't complain. He just told me. Like he was giving a part of himself. Calm, clean. I just needed someone to talk to. No filter, no mask. You're the only one I can be myself with. He called me his princess, and I didn't object. Because when he showed up, I genuinely felt better. He pulled me out of the darkness. In this industry, people like him are rare. He never asked for anything sexual, never made suggestive remarks. He was just there. And I believed it, that he was a gentle soul, rare, pure. What I didn't know was that all this time he had been watching me too, but from the shadows. Part 2, The Silent Watcher. I don't like being watched in silence. I know. Sounds ironic coming from a cam girl, but hear me out. The platform I worked on had a feature, spy mode. If I was in a private session with someone, another member could secretly join and watch anonymously, as long as it wasn't exclusive one-on-one. You wouldn't know who it was, no camera, no message, just a pair of invisible eyes. Sure, they paid for it, but that didn't make it feel any less invasive. I rarely agreed to those sessions. I needed connection, real contact. Not the feeling that some stranger was breathing down my neck from the dark. But sometimes it happened. I'd be mid-show with someone, and suddenly another viewer would appear in the list. No name, no voice, no identity. And the energy shifted. I'd stiffen, cover myself more, check what the camera could see. Smile less, feel less. Sometimes I just ended the session abruptly. My gut screamed, "Whoever that is, I don't want them here." Later, I joined a second platform, more reach, different rules, more viewers, and among them, one figure kept returning. Every private show, quiet, watching. He never said a word, never requested anything, but he was always there. His username? Something like Prince with an extra word attached. Prince, but not quite. A shadow version. At first I didn't pay attention, just a coincidence. Plenty of users pick royal sounding names. But over time, I started to expect him. He was like a ghost. Every session, he'd be there. Never touched, never spoke, just watched. It scared me, but also intrigued me. Who are you? Why are you here? Why don't you say anything? And then one night after a private session, I couldn't hold it in. He stayed in the room a few seconds longer than usual, and I broke the silence. "Wait, don't leave. Who are you? Say something. You've been following me for so long." And then a message appeared. "Hi Mia, actually, we've known each other for a while. You know me very well. I'm Howard." I froze. Read it 3 times. My stomach dropped. It was him. My Howard. My gentle prince. My knight in quiet armor. He kept typing. "Since you know now, let's just keep going. I really enjoy watching you. Don't stop." My head spun. I felt unwell. This wasn't the Howard I talked to about grief and healing, the one who listened to rock ballads and told me I saved his nights. This was just another watcher with a fantasy. Dirty? Maybe not. But he'd never told me the truth. He could have said something, in private, openly, said, "This turns me on. I'm sorry. I didn't know how to bring it up." But he didn't. He hid. For months, he watched, stayed silent, pretended. I finished the show, mechanically, with no feeling, just to check the box. Then I shut everything off and sat in the dark. Something inside me had cracked. Part 3. The myth breaks. I didn't sleep that night. He didn't do anything horrible. He didn't hurt me, didn't threaten me, didn't shame me. He just turned out to be someone else. Someone I didn't expect. Someone I thought I knew. Someone who had carefully built a version of himself I wanted to believe in. He was like a saint in this world full of guys who threw coins for humiliation. He always said, "I'm not like that." He called me his princess. He listened. He respected. He stayed gentle. The most sexual thing he ever asked for was a custom video he won from me in a spin the wheel game. He spent a whole week deciding what to request. And finally, the big ask was a chair dance in a little black dress, no underwear, to Fiona Apple's Sailor. With one catch, I had to slowly switch my legs like Sharon Stone in Basic Instinct. We laughed so hard, he joked, "Let me have this one fantasy. I'm starting to scare myself with how decent I am." And it really was fun. Until I accidentally sent the video to the wrong person, my grandmother. Yeah, don't ask. It was a long night, but in the end, even she laughed. And so did he. "Well," he said, "now your grandma and I are spiritually connected." He didn't shame me, didn't guilt me. He just laughed with me. And with that kind of guy, you start to relax. You start to believe. I never thought that all this time he was seeing me in a completely different way. He had seen the real me, but I had never seen him. Not really. I tried to rewind. Did I miss a sign? Did he hint at it? He didn't promise anything. He just showed up. And I chose to believe. Maybe I just needed someone to be pure. A few days later, he wrote again. Sorry if I shocked you. I just didn't know how to tell you. I still care about being close to you, even if it's like this. You're still someone special to me? I didn't reply because I didn't know who I'd be replying to. The one who sent me roses? Or the one who watched me undress, silently, secretly for months? Maybe both were real, two sides of the same truth. But I couldn't go back. I couldn't pretend nothing happened. Because now, even when he just typed hi, all I could feel was the stare. Part 4, goodbye. He never wrote again. Not that night, not the next. He just vanished. And I didn't know if I missed him or the version of him I had believed in. The prince, the rock ballads, the bouquets, the silly chair dance, and my epic grandma mistake. That sense that somewhere out there in the crowd someone was truly mine. But then I realized what I missed most was myself when I was with him. The version of me that believed, that felt safe, that felt seen, without needing to undress, without pretending, without performing. And yes, it hurt, because I truly thought he had chosen to be good. Turns out, he had just chosen to stay invisible, to be the one who watches, but never shows himself, to keep the gentle image while secretly living in the shadows. Maybe that was his truth. Maybe it was his way of coping. Maybe the pressure to be that guy in real life was just too much, easier to observe, to hide, to love from afar. I don't hate him. I don't blame him. I just let go. Because to truly see someone, they have to want to be seen. And if you're still hiding, you're not ready for real closeness. And I'm done chasing illusions. Sometimes the brightest people are just the best at hiding. And you? Who do you see when you watch in the dark